Hey YouTube, this video is going to be my Shatter Truth super rare reviews and my opinions on super rares in the set. The first super rare is the Starter Deck Pain Devapath. He has Ambush and Mastery, both two very powerful effects at the moment. His sacrifice one ninja or client like standard Pain ninjas, and his first effect I think is really strong because the turn you drop him, you're either going to move the turn marker down, which is going to help you if you drop Pain Itachi. Following the turn you drop Pain Devapath, and his second effect is really helps with his first effect because if they are blocking you in hopes of winning a Jutsu war to not have that effect go off, they only are going to be able to play one Jutsu if you drop them on your turn 6. So I think this Pain is actually really good and is going to compete with the original Pain Devapath as to see who will get the spot in the Void deck. I think they're both pretty solid Pains. But depends on how you're going at the deck, because this is really good for the time control aspect of the decks. Next super rare is the Starter Deck Itachi. I really think this Itachi is pretty terrible. His effect is very mediocre. In Void, you don't want to really move your turn marker down. You want to focus on keeping it up, and his negating jutsus really isn't that necessary right now. I'd rather just play ninjas that have effects that are going to either kill ninjas or stop my opponent from playing jutsus in the first place. And he doesn't really have synergy with the deck. Like, you move your turn marker up, but then you're just going to move it right back down. So there's no point really playing him, in my opinion. And there's better Itachis, and you're going to want to go into Pain Itachi, and you're just going to want to use Pain Devapath for that. Next up is the cover card, Sasuke. His effect we've seen in Neji Detection by Byakugan. It is less splashable than that because it is fire and water with a hand cost. It does have Ambush and Growth, meaning you don't have to pay the hand cost if you growth it. I think it's very strong for water because they gain a lot of chakra. They can play Naruto Tailed Beast mode and various other missions to gain chakra back, and then kill all of your opponent's chakra with that. And he has a lot of synergy with the new Kirin that comes out. So you can set up a lock with him and the Kisame. If you wipe their chakra, drop Kisame on 5, they're only going to be able to build up 1 chakra a turn. And most decks, if you can either just hit them with Chidoris from your chakra area, or just have Kirin, a couple ninjas, they're not going to be able to come back from that when you have 2 beaters like Kisame and Sasuke out. So I think this Sasuke is really, really good, and we'll see a lot of play. Next up is Kirin. I think Kirin's a pretty strong jutsu. I dislike the fact that it has the stipulation of you can only play it while you have no chakra. Despite that fact, I still think it's really good because it has synergy with the previous Sasuke, and it can also be played in fire and water because it has the no chakra cost, which is really nice. It's a balanced effect because it's 1 ninja on the battlefield, so it can't hit standby ninjas. I would like to see Kirin played with Mastery because mastering Kirin is really nice because if you have 0 chakra and 2 Kirins, you get to be able to play it 3 times. You go Kirin, play the next Kirin, use the chakra from the other one to mastery it, and then you have another Kirin in your hand. That's a cool combo I like with Kirin. And the only way to really utilize Kirin is to build a new deck. It's not going to be able to fit into any of the water decks we have in the meta now. So with the release of Kirin, I could see some full-on hand decks of water without the whole no-hand theme. I could see those becoming fairly competitive. Next up is the first appearance of Madara Uchiha as himself, not as Toby. At first glance, he has some good stats, but a lackluster effect. He has Ambush, which increases his playability a bit, but without Fire having a strong -1/-1 coin theme, I don't see him seeing a whole lot of play, unfortunately. Down the road, I'm sure we'll see a lot more powerful Madaras simply because of his power level in the show. So right now, I really don't think Madara is very good, but if we get a strong -1/-1 coin, some good cards, maybe some really good jutsus, you have Hidan that makes the -1/-1 coins not be able to go away. So, and unless you choose the ninja. So I think Madara could see some play in the future, but right now he's just not very good. Next up is Sasuna. he is a reinforcement card that's put in play with the Itachi that is released this set by giving up 3 Battle Awards, and his effect is you cannot lose the game to Battle Awards. I think it's a really good effect. The only downside is his effect only says it cannot be negated. It does not say it cannot be changed. So if comparative strength is a rule that it does not negate, it changes it, and therefore bypasses Susanoo's second part of his effect. Then I don't think he'll see a lot of play at the moment until post-rotation, where when comparative strength leaves format, and Fire could see an increase in power level. But right now, with comparative strength being run in almost every deck, I don't think we'll see a whole lot of play. It's still a very strong card, but it has a steep cost that is easily tarnished with comparative strength. And then just if your opponent doesn't know you have comparative strength, or you top deck into your comparative strength is Susano, and then that's end of their turn, check for Battle Wars, and then it's game. So I really think that Susano could see a lot of play in the future, but right now I don't think Fire is very good, so I don't see him seeing a whole lot of play. Next up is the Wind Super Rare Six Tails. As many of you know, at every tournament I play a Wind, so I'm gonna basically say I'm a little disappointed with this card as the Super Rare for Wind this set. It is turn 7, and as most people know, games do not last that long. Turn 6, 7 ninjas, they don't get played unless they have a pretty broken effect, and this guy's effect doesn't even start doing anything until turn 8. That's too late in the game, in my opinion, and drawing 2 is always nice. If you can get him out early with something like Exposing, obviously that's great, because you'll be drawing an extra turn. He'll become a beater because you'll just have a huge hand. You'll either constantly have 6, or with the new cards that'll allow you not to have hand size limit, he can just become bigger and bigger. He also has the same problem with Susanoo. This effect cannot be negated. It does not say it cannot be changed, so the whole comparative strength thing it could affect Six Tails, and overall I think Six Tails is one of the worst supers in the set, unfortunately. But at the same time, there's still the Katsuyu, the mini Katsuyu's division. There's still some support for the slug theme, which is nice and cool. But right now, I don't see him seeing a whole lot of play. Next is Minato. Is the first appearance of Minato as Minato, previously referred to as the 4th Hokage. I think his effect is really strong, being able to give a damage just during the exchange of jutsu, being able to attack, and being valid. He gets stronger when he's injured, so of course the effect is going to be valid. He's probably the best 4th Hokage right now. I personally don't like Younger Days very much because you don't often get the free put and play effect, in my experiences with playing Lightning, and just I think it's not as versatile as this 4th. I think we'll see a lot of play. And then he also has the squads for the 4th Kakashi and the 4th Naruto. His effect is really good with the 4th Naruto because it gives it damage. You can pick the ninja, but then you can squad so that ninja dies. So right now I see this 4th seeing a lot of play, and then continuing to see a lot of play in the future until we maybe possibly get a better one. But right now the power level of the 4th is really high, so I expect this to be one of the chase cards of the set because it is a fan card and it's a really strong card as well. Next up is Sai from the Perfect Curve. Most people on the forums don't seem to like Sai, but I really think Sai is a powerful card with a large potential. Drawing cards for putting in play effects is always great. People always play Naruto Legacy of the 4th to draw only one card. People play Gaara Childhood to draw one card. Sai can draw currently up to 4 cards. When he's put in play, he automatically draws 1 for himself, and at the moment can only draw up to 4. And in the future, I hope to see more ink summons, and he can just draw a lot of cards. He's also a put and play effect rather than deploy, which Bandai has been switching more to because of the abuse of put and play. But Sai, because of his put and play aspect, you can growth him to draw cards again for his effect. So I think because of that aspect of the card, he's really good, and I hope to play the archetype. The archetype sounds really fun just because it kind of right now just with the one ink summon they have. It reminds me of puppets, and as many know, I'm a fan of puppets. And I think if they just get 1 to 2 jutsus, 1 to 2 new ink summons, and maybe 1 mission, I think can be really good. And I actually look forward to pulling Sais and playing him in the future, because right now, current format, when this is released, he won't see play. But down the road, I think he'll definitely see a lot of play. Granted, we get support for Sai and his ink summons.